This Steve Jones Show podcast is now loading. The Steve Jones Show podcast is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Brewers Outlet, and Purdy Insurance. Now from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
And a great Thursday to you. Great to be with you. The national semifinal game in the Fiesta Bowl, Miami and Ole Miss coming up tonight. There's a contrast between these two teams that's interesting. And the game will be in Glendale tonight, and it's going to be the Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Holiday Rowe. I guess they throw Laura Rutledge in there too for these games. So yeah, that is the game tonight. We'll get to that in a few minutes. And then tomorrow it's Indiana and Miami. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. As for the game tonight, I mentioned it's a contrast in styles because I feel like Miami wants to shorten the game. They want to use Mark Fletcher, their running back, when he has not been the feature of what's going on. They have struggled. I'll give you an example. Louisville, he carried the ball 8 times in that game. 8 times. And that is going to be, that'll be important because physicality ruled the day in the quarterfinal games. Ohio State's physical, but Miami was more physical. Georgia is physical, but believe it or not, Ole Miss was more physical. Oregon was more physical in their game with Texas Tech by a decent margin. In Indiana, people probably wouldn't have believed until they saw it, but Indiana was exponentially more physical than Alabama. So you have teams that use physicality to get to this point. So that means you got 4 teams that are physical out there playing each other. So what are the differences between these two teams? Miami wants to shorten the game. Ole Miss wants to open up the game. Yes, Lacey's a really good running back. Trinidad Chambliss can run the ball. But can they control Bain up front? Bain was a pain for everybody who's played so far in the playoffs. Texas A&M, Ohio State, he's been outstanding. He has played like a first-round pick. So Miami has a formula. They don't mind if the score is kept down. Yes, they have Carson Beck, who's very good. Is he a great quarterback on the college level? No, but he's very good. He's very, very good. And the matchups are a really good one tonight. There's also, of course, the circus still surrounding Ole Miss because of Lane Kiffin. Kiffin's made a lot of money by this run. Believe it or not, LSU is actually paying him for Ole Miss playoff wins. He got, I think, $500,000 the last time through. It's not bad. Pretty good. And but I think the ability to run the ball on each side, if Lacey gets going, Ole Miss benefits. If Fletcher gets going, Miami benefits. And I think it should be a well-contested game tonight. I mean, it should be a really good game. I think it's the same story. It's going to be a really good game tomorrow, Oregon and Indiana. I give Indiana credit. I mean, look, I thought they would beat Alabama. I thought they beat Alabama by 2 touchdowns. I really did. But did I see that score? No. And I absolutely thought that Oregon would pound Texas Tech. Again, the big difference is the quarterbacks. And we'll talk more about that one tomorrow. Meanwhile, the transfer portal is going on. And with that, the changeover in the roster has been continuing. Matthew Outen is the latest to put his name into the portal. Okay. To his credit, I think he's decent speed, okay route runner. And still had a lot to learn out there, but I thought he had nice potential. I mentioned this before about the portal with Penn State. When people have brought up the Iowa State component with the number of players from Iowa State coming here, this is all about trust. It's all about that. The players that are coming here are the players that they looked at and said, hey, we've coached them. We know their personalities. We know how they react in certain situations. Players they trust. They're not just willy-nilly just picking off the entire Iowa State team. They're picking off the guys they want, that they know will perform for them. That's important in all this. And then they've filled in around them. Because, look, he still is a big believer in recruiting 3 to 5 year players. He's a big believer in that. But in this circumstance, he can't do it. And when you look at the holdovers in combination with this, he's done extremely well. Among the players in the portal, he has landed a top 10 quarterback, a top 15 receiver, 2 top 15 tight ends to go with one he already has, and a really good one in Rappleyea. A top 15 running back, and he's already got Quentin Martin on the Antike Hayes here. A top 5 linebacker. Oh, by the way, he already has Tony Rojas here. A top 10 safety. I mean, that's what he's landed. Trust is important. That's why Curt Cignetti brought so many players in from James Madison. Those were players he trusted. And guess what? I can see why they trusted him. Of the 13 he brought in, 12 played. And 8, I think, are really, really good. Just because they were James Madison doesn't mean anything. There were players he could trust. He knew what they could do and what they couldn't do. It's the same story of what Matt Campbell's doing here. They're bringing in guys that they know what they can do. As I talk all the time, part of coaching is taking advantage of your strengths and coaching around your deficiencies. Well, they know what the deficiencies are. They know that. They got that part. And he's got a lot of guys staying. I mentioned Rappelier. I mentioned Rojas. What about Donko? He's staying. Cooper Cousins. Davian Collins, Darius Dixon, Zion Tracy. Okay? Quentin Martin, I mentioned. Then you've got, not just Cooper Cousins and Donko up front, a guy like Dom Rulli, but Malachi Goodman staying. Garrett Sexton staying. I mean, Owen Alicini. I mean, they've got some really, really good players that stayed. Have there been a lot of names in the transfer portal? Yeah. But I'd say I'm up to 19 guys that I thought could be part of the 50 that left. They've replaced those guys. In the current atmosphere, this is the smartest way to do it, and they're doing it. Now, is there going to be a learning curve for us? Yep. It's going to be a learning curve. But that's fine with me. I could care less about that. I'll figure it out in due time. Somebody did ask me about the running back coach. To my knowledge, that's the one spot that has not been hired yet. That's the one spot, to my knowledge, that has not been hired. Everything else has. I think they've got everything else. But, yeah, Matt Outen entered the transfer portal at wide receiver. Okay. It's fine. So, we'll take a break. We'll come back. More in a moment. Opening half hour brought to you by Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors, Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf. Here on News Radio 1070 WKOK.
Hi, this is Season. For over 100 years, the Purdy Insurance Agency has been protecting families and businesses of the greater Susquehanna Valley and beyond. With the experience of our trained and knowledgeable staff, you can rest assured that your needs will be evaluated and met by some of the industry's best representatives. No matter what your insurance needs are, call Purdy Insurance today at 570-286-5855. Visit our website at purdyinsurance.com or check us out on Facebook to see what we can do for you.
Hi folks, Art Thomas here with today's history lesson. Over the past 50 years, MECTEC Incorporated has helped the Susquehanna Valley grow into the place we all love to live, work, and play in. Our body of survey work includes as-built utility plans for the Susquehanna Valley Mall from its inception through all its expansions, boundary survey of the Monroe Marketplace Shopping Center, and subdivision and municipal plan approval coordination for the Hummel Station Power Plant. Additionally, we regularly complete subdivisions and topographic surveys, residential boundary surveys, and commercial ALTA surveys. We provide construction stakeout services and complete elevation certificates for property owners in the floodplain. Scott Schambach, professional land surveyor, a MECTEC employee since 1998, has been managing all land survey work at MECTEC since 2018. Need a survey? Give Scott a call today, and he will be glad to help you with your surveying project. MECTEC Incorporated, building on a solid foundation.
The 2026 Wedding Expo is almost here at the venue at Liberty Valley, and you could win big. Enjoy wedding fashions from Bridals by Jay, giveaways from amazing local vendors, a day of beauty from Rituals Beauty Bar, and a limousine experience from Susquehanna Valley Limousine. Plus, one lucky couple will win a free 3-hour room rental at the venue at Liberty Valley. Valued at $650, it's perfect for a bridal shower, a baby shower, or even your wedding day. The 2026 Wedding Expo at the venue at Liberty Valley, January 18th.
The Papa John's pizza makers are out here trying to break their own records. Papa John's largest pizza ever just dropped. The Grand Papa. You could even call it the GOAT. The grandest pizza of all time. It's got hand-stretched original dough made with 6 simple ingredients. Our special Italian seasoning, a 3-cheese blend, and new big deli pepperoni. Shout out to all the Papa John's pizza makers making the Grand Papa happen. And to all you listening, don't wait. Go grand with the Grand Papa. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. Call Papa John's in Sealands Grove at 570-743-7474.
High school sports aren't just games here. They're traditions that bring us together. Parents in the stands, kids on the field, and the whole community cheering side by side. At Service Electric, we're more than just your internet, TV, and phone provider. We're your neighbors, too. That's why we're proud to support our local schools and the student athletes who inspire us on the field and in the classroom. Service Electric. Trusted service. Familiar faces.
Excuse me. Welcome, everyone, back to the show. Finally get to the games, but college football is such a dramatic off-the-field mess right now. I mean, when you're going into a playoff game and you're not sure who your coaches are, and you finally find out that your offensive coordinator and your wide receiver coach are going to be part of the game, but your tight end coach and your running back coach are out. Man, you're in a playoff game. This stuff should not be happening. It's a playoff game. And this is what's happening. I guess the people out in Scottsdale, Phoenix, Glendale, I mean, the Miami fans, I guess, have been showing up, and they're all like gung ho and the whole thing. The Ole Miss fans are showing up and just disgruntled about the whole situation. They're thrilled with the kids. They're thrilled with the job Pete Golding's doing. But the drama surrounding the program is just too much. And I think people always wondered, and will continue to wonder, whether a first overall pick in the draft would opt out of a playoff game. That hasn't happened yet. I never really thought about a coach opting out of it, but he did. I'm changing jobs. Okay. Look at the but it's a mess. You got a guy signing a contract one week, transfer portal the next week. Really? You signed the contract. Doesn't that bind both sides? I'm sure there's a buyout. But doesn't that bind both sides to the agreement? And Pete Thamel is saying that the money DeMond Williams signed for According to Pete Thamel, it's like in the $4 to $5 million range. And they didn't exactly go out and give him tip change and wish him nothing but the best. And the sport's a mess. Yet people are watching it in droves. This has been a very interesting case, which I'll get to in the next half hour, of there's a certain segment that wants to promote a narrative, and the narrative keeps getting blown up. I realize that the narratives are out there, that there are opinions, but they're trying to really push it. They're really push it and push it. And people aren't buying narratives. And I'll talk about those narratives in the next half hour because TV is showing that it's not what the people who make comments and think they know more than everybody else. It's not what's happening.
Smart and Guitar rely on Penteledata's fiber optic network? Just ask Eric Williams, Senior Director of Information Technology.
We've been with Penteledata for a number of years. They were an early provider of high-speed fiber in the Valley. Penteledata has been a terrific partner to help us bridge this tradition of handcrafted excellence with a digital future that modern customers demand and expect from us.
Now that's music to our ears. See what Penteledata's network can do for your business. Call 855-22-FIBER.
The 2026 Wedding Expo is almost here at the venue at Liberty Valley, and you could win big. Enjoy wedding fashions from Bridals by Jay, giveaways from amazing local vendors, a day of beauty from Rituals Beauty Bar, and a limousine experience from Susquehanna Valley Limousine. Plus, one lucky couple will win a free 3-hour room rental at the venue at Liberty Valley. Valued at $650, it's perfect for a bridal shower, a baby shower, or even your wedding day. The 2026 Wedding Expo at the venue at Liberty Valley, January 18th.
CBS News special report. It's been a day of unrest, a day after an ICE agent shot a woman to death in Minneapolis. Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz.
We believe in states' rights. We believe the federal government needs to stay out of this. We believe that the situation has gotten worse and less safe because of their presence.
Walz says video of the shooting disputes the Trump administration's take.
People in positions of power have already passed judgment. From the president to the vice president to Kristi Noem have stood and told you things that are verifiably false.
CBS's Usher Qureshi.
We're told the agent is Minneapolis-based, has more than 10 years on the job, and was also involved in a separate use of force incident during a traffic stop last June.
Well, state investigators say they've been blocked from access to evidence on the shooting by the FBI. CBS News special report.
Attention, Central Susquehanna Valley. Ready to score big in the real estate game? Caldwell Banker Penn One Real Estate is your trusted quarterback, leading the way with innovative solutions and exceptional experiences since 1986. We've got a dedicated team of professional agents, a top-notch property management team, and a fully staffed relocation department. Whether you're buying, selling, or renting, Caldwell Banker Penn One Real Estate has the playbook for success. Visit CaldwellBankerPenn1.com and join the winning team today. Caldwell Banker Penn One Real Estate, making real estate moves that matter.
News Radio 1070 WKOK delivers everything you need to know as you start your workday with the Sunbury Motors News Hour. You'll get the latest world and national news with the CBS Morning News Roundup at 8. WKOK News follows with news from Harrisburg and the Susquehanna Valley. There's a detailed look at the AccuWeather forecast, plus sports and business too. The Sunbury Motors News Hour is presented by Sunbury Motor Company. The Sunbury Motors News Hour, each weekday morning starting at 8 on News Radio 1070 WKOK.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code RADIO to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RADIO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RADIO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and Brewers Outlet. Now from the Sunbury Motors Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Half hour brought to you by Purdy Insurance, Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. Auto, home, life, business, boat, motorcycle, RV. Phenomenal with all the coverage. And not only that, we have multiple insurance needs that you really need somebody to organize and handle them all because they are specific needs. And they'll do everything they can to save you money because that's what Purdy Insurance does. And they don't just let your policy go and they don't think about you for a couple of years. No. They're constantly looking just to make sure everything is fine and on track. Customer service means everything to them at Purdy Insurance. Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. All right, so very interesting what the narratives are. Narratives are something that that people hit on and try to push and push and push and push. Like your opinion doesn't matter. Push. Your opinion doesn't matter. Push. I know way better than you do. Oh, no. I know what the future of the game is. I know what the current state of the game is. And people keep defying them. Well, let's get to two of them. I'm not saying that the conference championship game part shouldn't change. And I'm not saying that, for example, that is 41 the right number of bowl games? I'm not saying that either. But we're told that the championship games are obsolete, and we're told that there are too many bowl games, and they don't play a role. They're worthless exhibitions. I hear that over and over again from people, by the way, who don't play. They watch, they don't play. Okay, so let's get to the conference championship games. Alabama played Georgia. They both ended up making the playoff. We had to wait for Alabama. It drew over 16 million viewers. Holy mackerel. Okay. Next was Indiana and Ohio State. Both teams ended up making not just the playoff. Not just the playoff, but they also got first-round buys as two of the top four seeds. All right, well, who wants to watch that if they're both in and really no six? No. Better than 18 million people watched the game. 18 million. Narrative exploded. Why would any conference want to give it up when you're getting that kind of number to go with the money? Makes no sense. Well, the playoffs, the only thing people watch are the playoffs. They don't watch the bowl games. I mean, there's too many bowl games that are obsolete. They're worthless exhibitions. Okay. Except let me throw this out to you. Missouri played Georgia Tech, I want to say it was the Pop-Tarts Bowl. And in reality, which players do you know on Missouri and Georgia Tech? I mean, I know some, but not many. It's like on most of these games. The Hawaii Bowl. I watched Cal play Hawaii. I don't know a player on either team. None. Zero. Don't know. It's Christmas Eve. Life has settled down. Put my feet up. I got to the end of the third quarter, maybe the first series of the fourth quarter. Tired, I went to sleep. So I missed the comeback by Hawaii. But I'm sitting there, and to me, it's an entertaining game. I'm watching a football game on Christmas Eve. Sunshine in Hawaii. Cal, Hawaii. Didn't really think twice about which players were out there. Don't really know about a lot about either team. Penn State doesn't play either one. And not only not play either one, but a Penn State opponent doesn't play either one, so I wouldn't have watched them on a video anywhere. For example, I know something about Oregon State. One of the videos I watched before the Oregon game was Oregon State, Oregon. So I knew, so if you're asking me about Oregon State, yeah, I know something about them. But Cal, Hawaii, didn't know it. I just watched the game because of the game. I thought the game was fun, interesting, guys making plays. Love watching football. Things had settled down on Christmas Eve. Put my feet up. Thought I'd watch some of the game. Well, evidently, a lot of people feel that way. Brand names do play a role. No question. Which will come out in this. But the Citrus Bowl was on New Year's Eve at 3 in the afternoon. Now, New Year's Eve at 3 o'clock in the afternoon is not usually the greatest TV watching time. But two incredible brands, Michigan and Texas, squared off against each other. 9.1 million people watched that worthless exhibition. To quote the culture out there, to quote the narrative pushers. It's a worthless exhibition. 9.1 million people watched it. Wow. You've got Arch Manning out there. You got Bryce Underwood. You got Texas, Michigan. Huh? December 27th, Saturday, 3:30 in the afternoon. ABC. The Pop-Tarts Bowl. BYU and Georgia Tech. They had a chance, by the way, to eat the edible mascot. 8.7 million viewers. Oh, what was the lead into that game? The lead into that game, also on ABC, was the Pinstripe Bowl at noon. Noon on a Saturday. Penn State and Clemson. 7.6 million viewers. A new Pinstripe Bowl record. The Gator Bowl was at 7:30 that night as part of this triple header on ABC. Virginia, Missouri. 6 million viewers. December 30th. 5:30 in the afternoon. Good time to have it be played. 5:30 in the afternoon on the 30th, which was what, a Tuesday? Tuesday. Illinois, Tennessee, two good brands, right? 5.4 million viewers. That led into the Alamo Bowl that night. TCU and USC, the game went overtime. 4.9 million viewers. The ReliaQuest Bowl on New Year's Eve at noon. Again, not the greatest time, right? 4.6 million viewers to watch Iowa play Vanderbilt. 4.6 million viewers. To see these, quote, worthless exhibitions. On December 26th, 4:30 in the afternoon, the day after Christmas, the Rape Bowl at Chase Field in Phoenix between Minnesota and New Mexico. New Mexico? $4.4 million viewers. The last ever LA Bowl. So this one will get dropped off the schedule. Actually set a viewership record. On Saturday, December 13th, an 8 o'clock game on ABC, got 3.8 million viewers. A record. Now, that one is being cast aside. But Washington beat Boise State. The Liberty Bowl. Navy and Cincinnati. This is Navy and Cincinnati on Friday, January 2nd at 4:30 in the afternoon. Got 3.4 million viewers. Friday afternoon, January 2nd at 4:30 in the afternoon, got 3.4 million viewers. I'm not done. The First Responder Bowl, which was on Friday, December 26th at 8 o'clock at night on ESPN. Florida International and Texas San Antonio. Not exactly Penn State, Ohio State. 3.1 million viewers. The Las Vegas Bowl, 3:30 on New Year's Eve. Nebraska and Utah, 3 million viewers. The Texas Bowl, LSU, great brand, against Houston. This was on Saturday night, December 27th, 9:15, so the late game. 2.9 million viewers. I already mentioned the Hawaii Bowl earlier, Cal, Hawaii, Christmas Eve. As I mentioned, everything settled down. It was just me in the living room, just sitting there, and I thought, I'm going to watch a football game. Well, I wasn't the only one that thought that. 2.7 million viewers for the Christmas Eve game. The Duke's Mayo Bowl, Friday night, January 2nd, 8 o'clock at night. Wake Forest and Mississippi State, 2.6 million viewers. The Military Bowl, Pitt and East Carolina, noon on ESPN. So the game is opposite. This game is opposite Penn State Clemson. Penn State Clemson got 7.6 million. This was a third of the audience, but it was still a healthy 2.5 million. So between those two games, 10 million people were watching college football, or 10 million households are watching college football. 10 million households are watching college football. The Game Above Sports Bowl in Detroit, Northwestern and Central Michigan. Okay? Not exact, again, just like Florida International and Texas San Antonio, not a heavyweight matchup. But people wanted to sit back and enjoy football. Guess what? How many people really know about Central Michigan? I know a lot about Northwestern because I did the game. 2.4 million people. So Friday night, January 2nd, and I watched this game. in Philadelphia last Friday. Arizona and SMU, the Holiday Bowl on Fox, 2.34 million viewers. The Celebration Bowl, Saturday, December 13th at noon. HBCU game. It's an HBCU game. 2.32 million viewers. The Sun Bowl, Arizona State against Duke, Gary Danielson's finale on CBS. 2 o'clock in the afternoon on New Year's Eve. 2.2 million viewers. For the non-playoff games, there was a 13% increase. And they averaged 3.1 million viewers. If you were wondering, about these worthless exhibitions and who wants to watch, yeah, you're sitting there, I got it, and you're not seeing a lot of people in the stands. That part I've got. That part I totally understand. But people are at home watching it. It's remarkable. Remarkable, remarkable to see this. That's why these games continue to exist. Citrus Bowl, best rating in 6 years. Pop-Tarts Bowl, best since 91. Pinstripe Bowl, record. Gator Bowl, best rating since 2009. Liberty Bowl, best since 2021. Rape Bowl, best since 2011. LA Bowl, record. Hawaii Bowl, best since 2013. Military Bowl, best since 2018. Celebration Bowl, best since 2022. New Orleans Bowl, best since 2014. Independence Bowl, best rating since 2022. The Frisco Bowl, best rating since 2014. Boca Raton Bowl, best since 2021. New Mexico Bowl, best since 2022. 41 bowl games. 41, all right? Only 3 were below 1 million. We'll give you the rest of them here. Let's just go through and give you the rest of them. Well, I'll do the 3 that are under, then we'll take a quick break. The Salute the Veterans Bowl, Troy against Jacksonville State. Let me see, I just want to see here. Okay. 958,000 viewers. It did peak at 1.2 million. The Myrtle Beach Bowl, Kennesaw State, Western Michigan. That game was on the 16th, the Veterans Bowl, by the way. On the 19th, the Myrtle Beach Bowl, 808,500 viewers, 941,000 the peak. And the bottom was the Xbox Bowl between Missouri State and Arkansas State on December 18th. 457,000 viewers, peaked at 644. The 18th is what, a Thursday night? So that would have been opposite Thursday Night Football, right? That game's opposite Thursday Night Football. Myrtle Beach was a Friday afternoon, I believe. And the Veterans Bowl would have been on Monday, I think, leading into Monday Night Football. But if you wonder why, and I'll give you the rest of them here in a moment, in the next half hour. I mean, I mentioned the Pinstripe Bowl. The Pinstripe Bowl had 7.6 million viewers, but it peaked at 10.3 million. The $10.3 million peak is the second highest peak behind Michigan, Texas, which had $9.1 million and peaked at 15. The Pop-Tarts Bowl had more sustained at 8.7, but they peaked at 10. The Pinstripe was 7.6 and peaked at 10.3. All right, back with more in a moment here on News Radio 1070 WKOK.
SMC says, New Year, new ride. If your car's resolution is to stop rattling, leaking, and embarrassing you, now is the time. Sunbury Motors is kicking off the new year with fresh deals on brand new cars, trucks, and SUVs, plus huge savings to help you start 2026 in style. Whether you visit Sunbury Motors Ford, Sunbury Motors Hyundai, or Sunbury Motors Kia, you know you're getting the area's best selection and best prices on both new and pre-owned vehicles. SMC's values of hard work and dedication are as prevalent today as they were over 100 years ago. They take pride in satisfying Central Pennsylvania's automotive needs and providing their customers with the best buying experience possible. Make your first great decision of the new year at Sunbury Motors. Come in now to Sunbury Motors Ford and Sunbury Motors Hyundai in the North 4th Street Auto Plaza Sunbury and Sunbury Motors Kia on the Strip in Hummels Wharf. Owned and operated by the Mertz family since 1915.
Bucknell Athletics, Geisinger, and Wise Markets Plus 94.1 WQKX invite you to pack the pavilion for the 21st annual Dirk Soika Slam Dunk with Bison Basketball this Saturday, January 10th. Get your raffle tickets to win some great prizes like a $1,000 Visa gift card, $500 cash, and a catered event at Soika Pavilion. To get your tickets, contact Christina at 570-473-8352. Also visit WQKX.com and click on Dirk Soika Slam Dunk for more info.
Make your big game party a big win with Mid-Penn Beverage, your local distributor of a wide variety of domestic, imports, craft beers, and ciders. Just one stop at Mid-Penn Beverage, and you've handled everyone's taste. Just ask Heather and the girls for your favorites. Stop in today to fill your beverage list before the big game. Touchdown! Mid-Penn Beverage, Route 522, just east of Middleburg, and on Facebook.
We're kicking off the new year right and marking down items in every department at Shimmock's Furniture World in Mount Carmel. This is JP, and we are giving you the holiday savings with even bigger discounts. Get up to 40% off in every department. That's 40% off select living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, recliners, and more throughout the entire 56,000 square foot store. And we have 12 months easy financing and free delivery, free setup, and free removal of the old. Start the new year with beautiful furniture from Shimmock's Furniture World, selling happiness since 1915.
Some things are just better together, like peanut butter and jelly, burgers and fries, and internet, Plume Whole Home Wi-Fi, and TiVo Stream from SECV. Get blazing fast 2 gig internet, whole home Wi-Fi coverage with Plume, and endless entertainment with TiVo Stream. And together, it's better. And because we're a family-owned business, you get local customer service you can trust. No runarounds, just real people ready to help.
Narratives are interesting until you present them with facts. Oh, obsolete. It's past their time. They're worthless exhibitions. I mean, this has been pounded and hammered and pounded over and over and over again. And then you look at the viewership and you say, maybe not. Right? I mean, it's not like there isn't something to the fact that there are opt-outs for these bowl games. There's no question about that. But I think the opt-outs more affect your mindset as to your team. Can't believe all these guys opted out. You know, and people were saying to me, I can't wait to watch our backups take on the Clemson backups. I'm like, well, evidently a lot of people enjoyed watching it. Maybe you didn't, but other people did. 7.6 million. It peaked at 10.5 million, right? Yeah, it peaked at 10.5 million. Like, holy mackerel. I mean, that's for one game. Michigan, Texas, 9.1, 15 million. Now, did it really help that both the name quarterbacks were in that game to go with the brand names that back it up in Michigan and Texas? Yeah. I mean, Bryce Underwood and Arch Manning were both out there. It was great. And I'm not telling you, I mean, you're wondering, well, the other little bowls doing. Only 3 of the 41 bowl games are going to end up under $1 million. Really? That means 38 of the bowl games. And this includes the national title game and the 2 semifinals. We already know that those are going to get. Those 3 games will all get between 15 and 25 million, somewhere in there, depending on how things are going. And so only 3 of them are going to end up under $1 million. I'll give you the rest of them coming up, because there's, like, I'm sure you're saying to yourself, and I understand that, well, who the heck is watching the Independence Bowl? Oh, evidently somebody is. This is why ESPN owns 18 of these. They know that it is a viewership bonanza for them. It's better than anything else they're going to put on the air between 10 days before Christmas and after New Year's. Except, for example, like Monday Night Football. It's amazing. That's why all of this exists. That's why there have been so many of these games, because they feel it's great programming.